Sit to say please, creating a default sit behavior. So default behaviors, what are they? Well, they tend to be behaviors that your dogs will default to when they're not sure what else to do. Dogs do what works, so behaviors that have historically paid well will become go-to behaviors. Anecdotally, they also tend to be behaviors that are taught early on, and sit is a great choice for this. Mechanics are factors on the human end that will help you and your dog succeed. Your set position will be hands together at your core. If you've got a super tall dog, it may be hands together more at chest level. You will then extend one hand forward, flashing the treat in front of the dog's nose, and then quickly bring it back to your core. We call this a flash lure because it's a fast lure movement. Once the dog is seated, mark and then reward quickly. Speed on delivery is important. If we deliver too slowly, our dogs will break position to help get the treat to them faster. We want to feed while the dog is still in a sit position. This behavior is created using scent. You need to get it right at the dog's nose level because smell is what's going to pull their head upright. And when their head goes upright, it's most comfortable for them to go into a sit position. If they're sniffing the ground, you're going to have to get low. If you've got a shorty, you're going to be bending a lot initially. Look at this image on the right for reference. Say you're a tall person with a short dog. Just extending your arm out isn't going to get the behavior unless by chance your dog happens to spot it. You have to get it at nose level. Flashing that food arbitrarily without them seeing it or smelling it is going to fail every single time. So the next thing I'm going to work on is a default sit behavior, which it looks like he has some work on. What a default behavior is it's teaching a dog to sit when they don't know what else to do. So I'm just going to step away from him, and then as he approaches me, I'll flash the treat at his nose, and I pull it upright, and I'm just going to wait for a sit. Do we need to go higher? Your hand position is really important, and you'll notice that I'm giving him a lot of time to think through this, but when it becomes clear that he's not understanding, I adjust on my end. He's not being stubborn. My hand placement is the issue here. That dogs follow the smell of that treat upward, which the easiest way to do that is to drop their butts into a seated position. Yes. Yes. So let's see, will he start to default into position? What that means is, will he do it without me having to do the flash lure anymore? Yes, good job. Yes. He's starting to make the choice to sit, which is what I'm looking for, yes. So we start with that flash lure, and I call it a flash lure because it's a fast movement. We start with a flash lure because it draws the dog's nose up, and again, they go into the sit. But you want to pay fast as well. If you pay slow, your dog will jump to help get you the treat faster. So the fast movement is important. Come on. And then we do start to see that default, yes, sitting behavior where the dog starts offering it. This behavior is definitely contextual at first. What that means is that this will only happen in places where you train it to happen. Probably inside the house, in the kitchen, maybe in the front room, but not outside the house unless you train it outside the house. Now you may have noticed, or I don't know, maybe not noticed, but there's a lack of verbal cues that I'm using, and that's intentional. Now one thing you guys may notice is that I'm not saying sit right now. We'll actually train a formal sit later on, but right now I'm not actually naming this one because I want this behavior to happen whether or not I'm there to tell him what to do. If I name it, I build in that dependency. So with this one, you're really training silently. Yes, just the marker afterward. So, any questions on that one? Regression is expected and it's par for the course when we're building brand new behaviors. So from time to time, you may think to yourself while waiting for your dog to sit, he knows this. But if you see your dog struggling, it's because they need more information. They know that you've got that treat and they obviously would be performing the behavior if they could earn that treat, but they're just confused. So give them more information. As an easy example, I know my email password, but every now and again when I'm trying to log on to a different computer, it's like my brain shorts out. So thank goodness for password managers that help me. Sometimes we just need more information. So why did we choose sit as a default behavior? Well, sit is our preferred because it's incompatible with all kinds of other undesirable behaviors. They can't be doing a lot of undesirable things if they're seated. For instance, jumping up is a huge problem for a lot of dogs, but if you teach your dogs that sit works better for them than jumping up, sit becomes the stronger behavior. It's also used as a jumping off point for future behaviors. You may be thinking, but my dog already knows sit. I know full well a lot of my clients' dogs already know the sit behavior. I want you guys to practice it anyway. This is about your mechanics too. I want you guys to integrate this into your daily life, thinking about situations where it might come in handy. So if you've got a dog that jumps up on you when you walk in the door, have a treat ready and prompt a sit before the jumping occurs. We always want the sit to pay better. Or say you guys are reading a book and your dog comes over looking for attention. If you get them to start doing sit behaviors, they're not going to be jumping all over your laps to try and get your focus. Sit needs to be the behavior that works best for the dog. If you guys do that, this behavior will stick around long term. So again, right in front of the dog's nose, pull it upright and then pay quickly. Pivot around, do it again. So flash right at the dog's nose, pull it upright, and then pay in that sit position. I want you guys to integrate this into your daily habits. So that means that you're going to have goodies on you. What I might do is mix in some treats and a good portion of the dog's kibble, and then throughout the day work on this. So you'll start your engagement with the dog in this way. By integrating it throughout the day, they learn that sit works well in all contexts, not just in a training session. So that's it. Happy training.